right, coaches, so we're excited to have you participate with us this time, and I just want to give you a few little tips of things that I've learned over the last few years of doing this, of ways that can make your kids excited and want to be involved in that. As you can see, I have my little friend Tiger here. My team's name is the Tigers, and so we actually have little mascots. The kids love these. You can use them as an incentive. When we run our warm-ups in the beginning, they get to take turns holding them. They get to sit with them at their snack time, and as you can see, we have an actual tiger blanket that I was able to find, but you could use any kind of blanket. It is a good tool to keep your kids contained in one area. So when you need them to be able to sit down, especially like for snack time and things like that, because the way that eSoccer works, you will run what we call skills and drills for 30 minutes. And so we try to start on time, we run those skills and drills for 30 minutes, then they have a 10-minute snack break, which they are all excited about their snack break, and then we run a 20-minute game after that, and it's more than enough time for them. That's a long time to be running and playing, and we do try to include all the kids during that time of playing the game. So again, these are some things that you can do that. Think of a name, have the kids be involved maybe in what you name your team. But those are things that will help get the kids excited about being a part of that team and make them feel included. There's also other things that we can send out to you as far as using Shutterfly as a way to be able to share pictures with your team and still have it be safe, because some of these parents don't want their kids' pictures on Facebook or out in the public, but Shutterfly, you can set up a team site just for your team that you invite only your parents to. So that's another way to include your parents and make all of the kids feel excited about doing that. So now I want to just give you a few tips of some drills, types of things that you can do with your kids. One of the things that we find is the kids think that this goal is going to run away. So I have the tendency to stand there, we're going to hold on to it because it's going to run away. So we have to keep reminding them that they don't have to, but you can do a simple thing like I use a little jump rope here, and we help them to realize that they don't have to stand here and hold this, that this is kind of, we call it their house. And we want them to protect their house as the goalie. So as you do certain drills and give the kids a chance to practice being goalie and help them to see visually by putting a rope or something down to give them a visual representation of what their house is, it kind of helps with that, you know, I got to hold on to the goalie kind of thing. So we do that. Another one of the things that we do, and this helps with learning following directions, is everybody likes red light, green light. And so these are just simple papers that I laminate and put on little popsicle sticks. But the kids will start at one end of the field, and of course you teach them how to stop the ball by putting their foot on it and being able to control that. But then they follow directions, because as they dribble down the field, you will do your stop and your go to give them, you know, a chance to practice their dribbling in a fast setting, but still being able to control that when we need them to stop as well. So that's another thing that works well with that. Now I'm going to bring my two little helpers in, and they're going to show us some things that we could do. One thing that's really hard for a lot of kids, especially some of our special needs kids, is being able to learn how to control the ball when they're kicking it. And sure, you can have them practice kicking in a goal, but one of the things you want to do is you want to keep them busy. If they're standing in a line of 10 kids and they have to wait for 9 more players to go before they get a turn to kick in the goal, it's not very much fun. So you want to, of course, divide up the kids as much as you can, but you can buy these little orange cones, and we have a lot of actually extra cones even at the field usually that you can use. But we'll set these up, and if you guys have your balls, and what we do is we line them up about 5 to 6 feet away, sometimes closer depending on the child's skill level, and you have them kick the ball to where they're practicing knocking over the cone. So Sarah, you would need to stand in front of a cone, and when you get in front of that cone and you kick the ball towards it to be able to knock it over. And so that's a drill. So kick at the ball and see if you can knock it over. Okay? I kicked it. Yeah. You want to just kick it, but you got to kick it hard enough so it gives them, you know, teaches them learning how to be able to control their kicks and where their kicks are going. And you can line up, if you've got 10 kids, you get 10 cones out there, they can all be doing that at the same time. And of course you'll have to do some shagging the ball to catch that, and you'll have hopefully plenty of coaches there to help you. So now I'm going to show you some stuff that you can do as far as teamwork. So Abby, if you'll grab our hula hoop there. One thing that's also really hard for a lot of these kids is understanding the concept of having somebody on their team. And so we use, again, another visual representation with the hula hoop. You put them together in pairs, okay? And we always, for inclusion purposes, we try to pair up our special needs kids with our typical players. And that's good for both of them because, Abby, could you put those down and come over here, please? So we pair them up, and then you again have them practice dribbling. So we're going to have them start back this way just a little bit, and they're going to dribble towards the goal. And so the whole idea is that Sarah will pass it to her teammate kind of in front of her, and then Abby's going to kick it, dribble some more, pass it in front of her teammate, and they dribble that way down the field and then be able to kick it into the goal. So we start out, and we do that a few weeks by using the hula hoop, which is a visual reminder that I have a teammate here that I need to work with. But then as you progress, you can get to where with the kids that you then remove the hula hoop and they still practice that same drill of dribbling to their partner as they move down the field. And so it's the progression through the 8 weeks to see them kind of build on skills as they go to be able to do that. One other drill that we do, again, is working with our teammates, is that we will have 3 different colored cones. And it really is kind of important that we have 3 different colors. Abby, you want to grab the blue one? So you can have Sarah stand on the green cone. So you give them specific directions. This is where you're going to stand. Abby, you stand on the orange cone. And then you would have your other player standing on the red cone. And so again, it's the visual representation where Sarah is going to pass the ball to Abby. Abby's going to pass the ball to me, or whatever player's here. Sarah. Abby, pass the ball. Go back where you're supposed to and stop it. Sarah. Okay, pass the ball here. And then this player can actually kick it in the goal. So this is a 3-point formation to be able to work to where the kids learn that I need to pass it to someone else because it gets really easy. So one more time. We pass it to our player on the blue, who then gets control of the ball and passes it to our player on the red, who then gets the opportunity to be able to get that ball and to be able to shoot it in the goal. And so they learn to utilize their teammates and to be able to control the ball. Thank you, helpers. So these are just a few of those things. There's a few other tricks that I would recommend that you do. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You can go to the dollar store and buy stickers and use those as incentives because sometimes it's really hard. You think even 20 minutes is not that long, but for some of these players that's a long time. And so you can say, look, I need you to play your best to do this. Can you just not use your hands today? And if you can get through the game without using your hands, you get to get a sticker. And it's amazing what kids will do for stickers. We also use things like bubbles is a great incentive. We'll use that to where they get a chance where they can use bubbles. Another thing I've used is things like Skittles. Now, again, you've got to make sure with parents that they're okay with those type of things. M&Ms I don't usually recommend because it does get warm out there and that's kind of messy if the chocolate melts in their hand, but Skittles don't melt. And so you can do that. If they can stand, if you have a child that wants to constantly run off, that maybe a Skittle is enough for him to be able to stay at his orange cone until it's his turn to shoot the ball. Or maybe, you know, when he gets up there to shoot that goal in. And so those incentives work and do wonders for these kids to be able to participate in that manner. And so I hope that as coaches you understand the impact that you can have in these kids' life. I know it can be really frustrating, especially the first few weeks as you're maybe trying to control what's going on and you have kids running all over the place. But as you see the progress from week to week, and you have to understand that each child is going to progress differently. And so utilize those extra coaches that we have. That's why we have lots of coaches and helpers, because you might have Johnny who's just still back there trying to figure out how to stop the ball with his foot or how to actually kick the ball. So if that's where he's at, then put somebody with him and help him do that. And sometimes, it's depending on the age group of your team, you can actually use one of your typical players to do that. You can say, Sarah, you know what? I need you to be Johnny's helper here, and you're going to show him how to dribble that, because they learn more as well just by showing that. So we hope that you enjoy that. We hope that we'll utilize the resources of Caesar and myself and some of the other staff that have been around for a while, and we will do our best to help you have a very positive season.